Anyway, at 109, what you see there is the black bakkie, an official vehicle used by Warrant Officer Mohana, correct?
Correct.
Yes. And we have there those black bags that are lumped at the back of that bakkie. And we do see the red car somewhere in front on the right-hand side. That's your car, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
So you have arrived, you are at the scene. So this is how you found these exhibits, whatever the content was, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
And based on what we see there, why is it that you say that the scene, open quote, was handled in line with the SAPS National Instruction 1 of 2015, close quote? Why do you say that, based on what we see here?
Yes. Commissioners, as I explained, I might have been wrong in referring it to the national instruction, and my concentration was on the exhibits, the security, like they were not stolen, and they were still.
How do you know that? How did you know that? How do you know that? How did you then, and how do you now know that they had not been stolen? You just find them lumped there, and there's nothing beyond that that you know personally.
No, except for the statements of people of Scania as well as.
Do you not agree that it's fair when I say to you, you were trying to protect your colleague, Warrant Officer Mohana, by saying everything was in order insofar as how crime scenes should be handled? That's fair. That seems fair to me under the circumstances. Because one, you tell an untruth, and two, you then attempt to get out of that by saying, no, I was concentrating on what I found. But even that doesn't make sense. So what seems to make sense to me is that you were trying to protect your colleague.
No, I wouldn't do that, Commissioner.
What were you doing then? Telling a lie. What were you doing?
I do not have any explanation, but not that I was covering for him. Yes.
You just told a lie for the sake of it.
No, not really, Commissioner.
All right, I'll leave it at that.
And can you just, on the topic of covering up for your colleague, why did you say to your superior that Officer Makhano is somebody from crime intelligence when we know that he's from Crime Information Analysis Center? Because your superior has deposed to 2 affidavits where he says when you called him, you said to him crime intelligence requires assistance from you to go to Ireton and help with a drug bust. So why would you mislead your superior? I mean, you must have known that Mohana is not from crime intelligence.
No, honestly, I did not know. And what I understand even now, sitting here, is that SAMEC is another leg of crime intelligence. I might be wrong. So he always introduced himself, and like I said in my statement, most of the informers in that area, I got assistance from him when we were working. So that goes together with crime intelligence.
No, but you know he works at a police station. Is it Zonkizi's or what?
Correct. Yes.
But how can that be crime intelligence? Even I know that somebody who works at Zonkizi's police station is not crime intelligence. You, an experienced and seasoned police officer who has worked with this person in the past, who was previously stationed in Alberton, why would you not know that? And I'm raising this because you've created an impression in this commission that you had permission from your superior. He knew that you were supposed to be there. That's why you were there. But the truth is you misled your superior, because what you told your superior is that crime intelligence has requested your assistance. And on the basis of what you told him, he said, yes, go ahead. But what you told him was not true.
No, Commissioner Khumalo. From what I understand, Warrant Officer Mohana, it works in, okay, SIMEC it's another department in crime intelligence. So that's why I said he's from crime intelligence. And like I'm explaining, he's been giving information for, and people who are working with informers are from crime intelligence.
No,
Maybe
everybody works with informers. I mean, even somebody from a local police station has informers. If you had said to your superior, a police officer from Zonkizizo police station is chasing drugs from Ekurhuleni to Johannesburg, and it's just him and a traffic official, the two of them only have called me to join them, I doubt that your superior would have said, yes, go and join them. Because you are at a level of a warrant officer. The only reason your superior allowed you to go there is because you told him that crime intelligence, I mean, he's specific in both his affidavits. He says you told him that crime intelligence asked for your assistance. And it was on that basis that he gave you the go-ahead. Hence, I say you misled your superior. And it was on the basis of the information you gave him, which was misleading, that he allowed you to participate in this bust.
No, I would disagree with Commissioner.
Is your superior lying when he says you told him that crime intelligence asked for your assistance?
No, I told him that.
You told him that?
Yes.
And that is not true. Crime intelligence did not ask for your assistance.
But Warrant Officer Mohana, although he said SIMEC is under crime intelligence.
So why did you not say to him, somebody in SIMEC at Zonkizizo police station is following a truck from Durban, and only him and a traffic officer are chasing it all the way to Ireton, and I'm joining only the two of them?
Honestly, I did not know about SIMEC up until our arrest, because to me, he works at crime intelligence. I'm not familiar with what is happening in Zonkizizo. He's working at crime intelligence. Whether SIMEC or what, he's at crime intelligence.
All right, let me leave it there. Thank you.
Can I just go back to your discussion with the chairperson about paragraph 24 of your statement, where you say your explanation of that paragraph, of what you say there, is that you were explaining, you are speaking to after you arrived there, what happened after you arrived. You have your statement there, paragraph 24.
I'm still checking it. Page 24.
Page 8, that's in your statement.
Oh, okay.
Page 8.
I'm there, Commissioner.
Yes. So the answer that you give to the chairperson cannot be correct, because you open that paragraph by saying primary responsibility of the first responding officer. So you're not the first responding officer. Mahane is the first responding officer. And then you say all of that was done. After saying, because that opening paragraph is about the responsibilities of the responding officer. That's what they must do. They must take control and secure the crime scene. To ensure integrity and originality, that whole list is what the first responder must do.
Correct.
Now, you say, if without your explanation, reading this paragraph, you are saying that's what Mahane did. That's what that paragraph conveys. And so your answer to the chairperson that you're speaking only to the period after you arrived cannot be correct, cannot be the truth, in fact. The truth is you are conveying what Mahane did on that scene, and that is false, because he did not do any of that. And you had no way of knowing what he did when he got onto the scene.
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes, so it is false, firstly, what you represent in that whole paragraph.
Correct.
Two, even if one were to entertain your explanation, which is you're speaking about after you arrived, you did not do any of that. You did not ensure the integrity and originality of evidence and exhibits. You found them on the van and you did nothing about them.
Correct, Commissioner.
right? You
Yes.
didn't ask why, at least in your statement, you don't say, I asked why are they on the van? Where were they? You don't say that in the statement, but importantly, you didn't do B, right?
Correct, Commissioner.
Investigate and process the crime scene thoroughly and undisturbed. The scene was already disturbed, so you're misleading when you say that's what happened. The first responder investigated and processed the crime scene thoroughly and undisturbed. And the rest of it, record facts and events properly. You did not do any of that. You tell us you took a statement from Jolene. You asked questions and started taking a statement. You're not even sure whether you completed that statement. You do say that.
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. So none of that which is listed in paragraph 24A to G did you do personally. So
Correct.
you're not. So your answer. That's another reason why your explanation that 24 is about accounting for what happened or what you did once you got there, it's not correct.
I agree.
It's a false representation of what happened.
I agree.
And it still raises the question, why would you mislead about something like this? And leads to, until you give a proper explanation, it leads reasonably to the conclusion that, well, you were trying to cover up. For Mahane, whatever you knew about what he did, you were covering up for him. Do you want to comment?
I agree with Commissioner Baloyi with all the points, but I'm honestly saying cover up. It was not in my mind when I wrote this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Maybe now that we are dealing with that first responder, Warrant Officer Mahane, you say in your statement that Warrant Officer Mahane handed over the scene to you. That's another misrepresentation. It did not happen at all. And the question again is, why would you say that when it did not happen? And it did not happen because Warrant Officer Mahane told us what happened. He said Mashaba was in charge of the scene. And we had a lengthy discussion with him about that, and he accepted that. He said Mashaba was the person responsible. And Mahane was asked the question, you were the first responder, you're SAPS, and you have a national instruction that tells you what do you do as SAPS when you arrive there. And he said, I accept. I didn't do what I should have done. Mashaba was in charge of the scene. He could not have handed up the scene to you. For that reason, again, that's a false misrepresentation. By you, or, and most unlikely, by Mahane when he says Mashaba was in charge of the scene. So one of you is not telling the truth. But we have the version of the first responder who says Mashaba was in charge of the scene. So it is false that he handed over the scene to you, because he couldn't hand it over to you if he wasn't in charge of it.
Commissioner, I hear what, and I agree with what you're saying. That's what he said, but the scene was handed to me by Mohana as the one who phoned me to come to the scene. As to why he denied being in charge of the scene, I don't know.
Yes, he called you to the scene. There's no question about that. He called you, and you tell us in a statement that he said, I want backup. Nowhere in your statement do you say to us, he called me and said, I want you to come and take control of the scene. You say, he's called and he said he wants backup. Now you are at the scene, and you say he handed the scene over to you. And all I'm putting to you is he couldn't, if on his own version he was not in charge of that scene, then he had no scene to hand over to you. He couldn't hand over to you. And either you or him are lying to the commission.
Can you please indulge me on the same topic? You said somewhere in your statement that in terms of the regulations, and you say this in the context of you lodging a complaint against the IPID officers and General Khan, those who came after you. And you say, regardless of the rank, if you arrive at a scene and you find a police officer there, you don't just give them instructions, you don't just take over from them, is that correct?
Correct.
I'm not misrepresenting what you said. And you say because they did that while you were already there, they acted improperly and they defeated the ends of justice.
Correct, Commissioner.
But my difficulty with that is that when you arrived at the scene, the SAPS vehicle that we see on page 109 of the stain exhibits was already there, and there were already 2 uniformed police officers in a police vehicle who were there. And yet you did exactly the same thing. You bypassed them and purported to take over the scene. Isn't that unprocedural because you found them there? You should have let them tell you what is going on, what they found when they got there, and they are the ones who would have then handed over to you if they saw fit to do so. Isn't that correct?
No, Commissioner. What happens is the first member on the scene, we agree it was Mohana, a SAPS member, it was Mohana. So if it was supposed to be the Boysen's members to hand over the scene to me, it would have been Mohana handed over the scene to them and then to me. So hence I'm saying.
Were you not listening to Commissioner Baloyi when she says Mohana has already said it was not his scene, it was Mashaba's scene. So if anybody needed to hand over, then it would be Mashaba. But because Mashaba, the prescripts of SAPS don't apply to him, the officers who were there, who were in uniform, who were responding to a complaint that both Mashaba and Mohana are criminals who are impersonating police officers and they are trying to hijack a Scania truck. SAPS officers went there to prevent that. When you arrive there, you find a police van with SAPS officers presumably in uniform. They don't hand over to you what they are investigating because they are there investigating a hijacking attempt of a truck.
Correct.
Right?
Correct, yes.
Now, as far as they are concerned, that's the scene, the hijacking of a truck. And the suspects are Mohane and Mashaba. But when you get there, you bypass those police officers and you start doing whatever it is that you were doing. It's not clear because you did nothing to the exhibits that were in the back of the bakkie. You did not touch them, you did not secure them, you did nothing to them. So it's not clear exactly what you did when you got there, other than these seals that you handled improperly, as it appears. So even on your version, it seems that you did not comply with the prescripts as you have explained them.
If I may answer, Commissioner, yes, the 2 Boysen police attended the scene on the basis of truck hijacking, but
Exactly.
it ended up, it's not a truck hijacking, it's the scene of Mashaba and Mohana of possession of drugs. It's no more their mandate that they came for. It is the other way around.
And according to you, the scene was not the bakkie. The scene was the entire area.
Yes, I'll take
Did
that.
you cordon off the 7 Series BMW that was parked nearby? Did you search it to look for exhibits, including this 60,000 rands that was found inside
No,
of it?
to be honest, Commissioner Kumalo, that car, I was not even, because it was standing there, I did not even know, like, as I said in my statement, the first time I saw the driver was when we were in the back of the bakkie, because I was concentrating on what I was doing.
So which scene did you secure then, according to you?
Where the drugs were, as I mentioned on that tape, when they were, because that's where my scene was, where I was concentrating.
And how did you know it was drugs? Because you did not open the bags and look inside. How did you know it was drugs?
The smell.
What?
With the smell.
Smell of what?
Of cocaine.
You could smell cocaine?
Yes.
And you could tell that it was cocaine?
It was suspected cocaine, yes.
Is that why you arrested the 3 people?
Correct. But they were not arrested by me physically.
You said you gave somebody the tape to handcuff them.
Yeah, it was Captain Midupi. Actually, he's the one on page 109 of Stain's bundle.
But
yes.
you gave, what did you call it, the tape that you said?
The cable ties.
Cable ties.
Yes,
You
Commissioner.
gave the instruction that they should be arrested.
Yes, yes.
And why? Why did you give instructions that these 3 people should be arrested?
For possession of drugs.
But how do you know they possess drugs? Because you arrived there and you found drugs in the back of the bakkie. How do you know that these 3 people possess drugs?
Because the statements, Commissioner, were that those drugs are from the truck that he was driving.
Yes, but you're not arresting the driver, you're arresting 3 people. So why were you arresting the other 2 people?
No. I explained in my statement, the person that I requested Captain Medupi to cuff, it was the driver.
Yes.
And I was busy taking a statement on the second person. So the decision whether to arrest or release was going to be finalized when Lieutenant Colonel Maluleke arrives.
So you arrested the driver on the basis that you could smell the cocaine, and because you were told that he was driving the truck, you concluded that he was in possession of the drugs.
Correct.
And you gave an instruction that he should be arrested.
Not per se, Commissioner Kumar. When I arrived at the scene, he was arrested, right? And
no, you said you gave instructions that he should be cuffed with the...
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm coming there.
Yeah.
So while the scene was chaos, he was now standing on the other side. Then I went to fetch him and handed over to him, to Captain Medupi to cuff with the cable ties.
Okay.
Early today, you mentioned what your experience with narcotics or drugs is. Do you remember? You were being questioned by Mr. Musigiri.
Correct, Commissioner.
Yes. And my sense was that you don't have much experience. Am I correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
And I think you said the largest consignment you would have been involved in was something like 5 kg.
Correct, Commissioner.
And 5 kg of what?
I think it was cat.
Cat.
Cat, yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
And not cocaine, obviously.
Correct.
Now, I'm interested to know how you would have smelt the cocaine.
No, with the smell that was coming from the back, obviously, one could smell that it would be. Although I did not know if it's a cocaine or it was.
Do you know how cocaine smells?
Right now, I know how it smells.
At the time, did you know how cocaine smelled?
Hence, I was saying, Commissioner, I did not know.
You did not know.
Yes, what kind of a drug?
But in response to Commissioner Kumalo, is that not the impression you gave, that is, you could smell the cocaine?
Yes, I should have said I could smell suspected drugs or I said suspected cocaine, if I remember well.
Meaning you smelled cocaine. That's what you meant in response to Commissioner Kumalo.
Yes.
So that was untrue.
No, it
Because
is.
you've just said now, at the time, you did not know how cocaine smells. So it was untrue to respond to Commissioner Kumalo that you could smell the cocaine because at the time you did not know how it smells.
But there was a smell coming out of the bags, Commissioner.
We're talking about cocaine.
Oh,
you
okay.
say you did not know at the time how
That is
cocaine smells.
Yes, I agree, Commissioner.
But in response to his question, you said you could smell the cocaine. So I'm saying if you did not know how cocaine smelled, you could not, or it would be untrue to have responded to Commissioner Kumalo by saying you smelled the cocaine. That was untrue, correct?
Correct, Commissioner.
You've told quite a number of untruths when all 3 of us are engaging you on a number of issues. Do you want to explain why you've told that many untruths, Warrant Officer?
It is not per se that it is untruth, Commissioner. Maybe it is how I explain or express, because I wanted to say I could smell it was drug, but not cocaine. But I understand I already considered it was cocaine, and that statement was false. So I do not have any.
It's untrue, so you cannot change that, and you've basically accepted that it was untrue, so you cannot make it true. You've already accepted it was untrue, so I don't understand what purpose the explanation serves. Do you think it serves any explanation?
I suppose so, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Warrant Officer, you are at the National Investigation Unit.
Correct, Commissioner.
That's what you say.
Yes.
Is that the same thing that is commonly referred to as NIU? There is something called NIU, and I
Correct.
think here in your when you first explain, the acronym you give though is NINU.
Yeah, that's the correct one, NINU.
It's the same unit that is normally referred to as just NIU, or there's another unit called
No,
NIU?
there's another unit of investigation, NINU.
Okay,
then
which is where you are.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And then NIU?
NIU is another unit of the intervention unit.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so it's a different
it's
unit.
a different
altogether.
unit, Commissioner.
Okay. Now, in paragraph 2.5, you set out of your statement, you set out your duties in the NINU.
Correct, Commissioner.
That's still correct. That's what that unit does.
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. It's blue light robberies, airport following robberies, head office inquiry files, and high profile cases as determined by the Minister of Police, Deputy Minister of Police, National Commissioner, Deputy National Commissioner, Divisional Commissioner, and political leaders. So you've told us what that unit does.
Correct, Commissioner.
The request from Mr. Makhane is not one of those.
Correct, Commissioner.
Okay. How do you get involved with it? You are in Pretoria. I think you're based in Pretoria.
Yes,
you
I'm
say.
based there.
You get called out to the East End by a station-based person who is in fact an office-bound person. He's not a detective. He's accepted, he's told us that, he's accepted that. You get called out to come to this operation on something that is not any one of what you say is the functions of your unit. Can you explain why you get involved with it? It's far from you, jurisdictionally even. It's far from you, and you go and get involved with it. From someone who is not a detective, for that matter.
Okay, I'll start with the jurisdiction part. I'm working nationally, hence in May of that same year, I was in Richards Bay, Emangu. I forgot that circuit court, the High Court, where we were dealing with another matter there. Okay, so we work nationally. So, and then the issue of involving myself, I first requested permission from Colonel Sipungu, and had he said, no, don't go, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, well, it's another question why he said you can go. Don't concern yourself with his reasons for giving you permission to go. I'm having the discussion with you that you get a call from someone whose job is office bound. You say he's crime intelligence. Well, we know he doesn't do this job. He told us that his job is administrative. He's in the office. Even his superior said that about him. You get a call from that person, and then it doesn't fall in any one of these. It's not blue light robberies. It's not airport following robberies. It's not a head office inquiry file or high profile case, as you've described. And so I'm asking you to explain your decision to become involved with something like that, which is so out of your functions or the functions of your unit as you describe them.
Commissioner, I got permission. I got involved by requesting first permission to attend.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What, I could ask you, and maybe your answer is as good as it will ever be, that why did you ask for permission about something that has nothing to do with you? That's really my question. Why did you decide to become involved with it? You could have said to Mahane, look, I can't help you. Go find somebody else or refer him to people that you know in your unit deal with these kind of things. Or the right DPCI, SANEP, the ones that I think you say you referred him to, you call SANEP eventually. You don't do that.
Yeah, the reason is the information was supposed to be attended to. So maybe the delay in attending to that the drugs would have disappeared.
No, he didn't say to you the drugs are going to disappear. He said, we have information. Come meet me in Alberton. We have information. And then you say, yes, once you've identified positively, come back to me. So don't do maybe the drugs would have disappeared. He never said that to you.
Yes.
And you never said to us there was urgency. In fact, I want to suggest to you that forget any explanation that seeks to suggest there was urgency to this. There wasn't. Mahane and Mashaba had it under control. They followed the truck. They went to the depot. They followed the truck. They got to Scania. They reported themselves. The buggy went in. So there was no agency that required your involvement. So don't let that enter my conversation with you. My question still is, this has nothing to do with your functions. All there is a connection. You and Mahane are friends. You've worked together before. You've told us that, and he continues to give you information. That's the only connection. He calls you about something that has absolutely nothing to do with your unit and with your duties in particular. Why do you not say to him, find somebody else? You choose, I'll get involved. Especially something that you know nothing about. You've never done drug busts. You've told us about 5 kilograms. You think it was cat. You've never done a truck is coming, it has drugs, we have information. Why do you choose to be involved with this? And the question is asked because the circumstances of this operation, including the involvement of Mr. Mahane, of Warrant Officer Mahane, is deeply suspicious. That's why the question to you.
No.
Yes.
I understand. And Commissioner, I honestly assisted because I was available and there was no and I seek permission and it was granted. That's the only reason why I could say I attended.
Okay. And you tell us in your statement that Warrant Officer Mahane asked for backup. You say that at paragraph 6 of your statement.
Yes,
It says that he needed backup. What does that mean when you get a call to say, I need backup?
Backup would include the role players of whatever the crime that you are busy investigating.
So you're not saying that in your statement. You're not saying he told you, get me the role players. He calls you, he says, I want backup.
Yes.
So you understood that he needs you to come to come and assist him at the scene. Because if he had said to you, I want you to find me role players, you would have said it in your statement.
Yes, by virtue of telling me to back up, then I know that kind of crime will need a photographer, will need a doc unit, and so on. That's why I started by calling them to the scene.
Okay. And you do that without knowing whether he has called those people, because you don't tell us in your statement that he said to you, I want backup, which means I need you to call people. You're not the only one, remember, that he calls for
Yes.
backup, and not
Yes.
everybody did what you did.
Yes.
You've become very busy from the outset to start calling people to come to the scene when all he has said to you is, I want backup, which brings me to the question of what in fact did he say to you that makes you so active to now start calling people and gathering people to go to the scene?
There's a paragraph where I mentioned that he told me that he's been trying to get other people who are out of the province or others who sponsor off. Although I didn't write it in the statement that he said he phoned, because he told me about Doc Unit as well. He phoned Maja and he couldn't come and assist. So I included it in that statement that I made, that he wanted me to call. He told me that he was calling other people, but who are not available and all that.
Have you ever had to organize? I understood your evidence earlier that you've never had to organize or manage a scene. You've never had to do that.
The drug scene of this magnitude, yes.
Did a drug scene? Have
Yes.
I understood you correctly?
Yes, correct.
And I may have, you can correct me, I understood it to be, so you don't have experience in crime scene management.
I'd say I have experience in crime scene management, particularly.
Because you have managed a scene before.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
just not drugs.
Yes, Commissioner.
Just not drugs.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. So when you, without experience, when you get that kind of call and you understand backup to mean he needs the different role players, why do you not call the people that have experience in that? Instead of calling everyone else that you've called, why do you not, the first call make, why don't you call SANEP, which you do much later?
Yes.
Why do you not call LCRC, which you do? You tell us once you're at the scene, you do that.
Yeah.
Why are you calling all these other people? I have a long list of the people that you have called along the way. And the question is, why are you not calling SANEP? You know there are people who have experience in matters like this.
No, Commissioner, as I said, the first call I made, it was to Captain Midupi. Captain Midupi is my immediate commander, and he also came to the scene. And then...
You were calling him to say what to him? I thought you called him to get permission to go.
No, Captain Midupi came to assist at the crime scene.
Okay.
Yes. Colonel Sepungu is the one that gave permission.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So after Captain Midupi, I phoned the doc unit. And then they are the ones that told me that a lieutenant colonel of SANEP has the similar inquiry. So I did not need to call other people because I believe that when he comes, he'll take over the scene.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And just to be sure, did Warrant Officer Makhane ask you specifically to organize role players for him? Did he tell you, I haven't done this, I need you to call the forensic laboratory, for example, because you called the forensic laboratory?
Yes, that's another one. Because initially when I phoned when I phoned the forensic lab, I was of the opinion that they still come to the crime scene and package everything. So that's when I was told they no more do that. So when he phoned me to say he wants backup, so I understood it. He wants me to arrange every role player for that scene.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.